name is Eddie Allen, CEO and founder of Easy Desert Credit Repair. Today I wanted to talk about another subject. The subject is collection accounts. My firm belief is why pay them unless you absolutely had to. So a lot of clients get antsy and they pay them and they wonder why their score drops. Let me explain how collections and how this works when it comes to the credit industry, credit repair industry, and the collection industry. What happens is, let's say you had an account with Capital One, let's say, just an example, and you stop paying Capital One. They try to collect 30 days later on your credit report. You don't pay. 60 days later on your credit report, 90 days later on your credit report, and then they figure about the 120 days, either they charge it off or they file it to collection account. Some companies have internal collection companies. You'll see that a lot with medical accounts, and we'll discuss that in a later video. But let's say the collection account figures, hey, we're not going to collect on this account. Now what they do is sell that account to a collection company. Let's say they sell, let's say you owe them $1,000. Let's say they sell it for $60, $80 to ABC Collection Company. They sell it to them. Now ABC Collection Company commences to call you and send you letters. The first letter you'll see, it says you have 30 days to dispute this account in writing. So let's say you have 30 days. Let's say you don't do it. Most of the time we don't even see those letters, or we don't open that junk mail because we don't have an account with ABC Collections when we see it on in our mail, so we don't respond. So now all of a sudden you have Capital One on your credit report, you have ABC Collection on your credit report. Now there's certain laws that they need to follow when they do that. So what happens is with us is that once you pay a third-party collector, let's say it's been 2 years that they've been trying to collect this debt from you. ABC Collections had it sitting in their office for 2 years. Now it was 2017, you had the account in 2015. Now all of a sudden you decide, hey, I came into some money, I want my credit right. You call me, for example, and I tell you, hold tight, let me go after the account, yada, yada, yada. Because there's certain legal things they must have and disclose to you and myself as a client before they collect. And I ask for those things. And some clients, let's say, a lot of times we get it off. Almost 98% of the time we get those accounts off without you paying a nickel. But let's say that you pay them. You pay them. Let's say you pay that account. There's no such thing as paying a collection account and improving your credit report. Stop that. Get that out your mind. So if you had an account in 2015 and now it's 2017 and you pay that account, what's going to happen is that account is going to change the date of what we call the last date of activity. So if you looked at your credit report now before you paid it, it'll say 2015. So you had 2 years of basically getting past that negative account. Even though it's still on there, still 2 good years have passed when no activity was done on that account. Now all of a sudden you pay it. Now the date's going to say December 2017 and your score is going to drop because the date of last activity is going to change from 2 years ago to recent. So now you have a recent collection even though it says paid. They don't rank them as collection accounts to this being worse than that one, this one looking better than that one. Now from when you're looking at it like an underwriter standpoint, when somebody's physically looking at your account or your credit, they'll look at it and they say, okay, Mrs. Smith paid this collection account, and they won't ask you any questions if your scores are high enough to get that car, that home, or whatever you're trying to apply for. But if it's not, they're going to ask you questions. But if you had left it like it was and let us remove it, you would have seen a 60, 70 point increase. That's why I tell my clients, hang tight, let us go after it, and let us do it. So let me give you a scenario in this case. Let's say you loan me $1,000 and I stop paying you. Or you stop paying you, and I stop paying you, 50 bucks a month. I stop paying you. Now all of a sudden, a friend of mine that I sell the account to calls you up. Hey, my name is Fred. I'm here to collect on a debt that you owed that you owed Ed because you loaned him money. He stopped paying you. So now he's here to collect on that. You're going to hang up on Fred. And that Fred being that collection company, I'm being the original creditor. So you would hang up on Fred if he called you to try to collect on a debt and tell you I sold it to him. But that's what happens. Certain legal things have to happen for that to happen. And it also has to be in your original contract when you sign with Capital One that, hey, if you default, we're going to sell it to ABC Collections. Number one. Number two, once they go to ABC Collections, they have to have the original contract, the original date, they have to have a signed signature, they have to have how much they sold it for. Do they have a legal right to collect that debt in your state? So let's say they bought them in bulk. Let's say they bought 50 accounts. Most of them they don't even know. They just glance through them on a little spreadsheet and they buy them, let's say buy them all for $1,000. So anything on that spreadsheet they collect over $1,000, they made a profit. Now when they get to yours, they may find out you live in Arizona, let's say. and they may not have a contract, or they may have a license to even collect in the state of Arizona. But yet and still, they're still going to shoot you the letter out. They're still going to ask you for your money, for the money. So they're not going to tell you, hey, we don't have a license to collect in that state. They're still going to shoot it out to attempt. Hopefully they get paid. So that's why you have to be mindful of the law. And the statute of limitations for every state is different. That's what we call a statute of limitations. Let's say in Arizona, let's say it's 4 years. So from the last day you made a payment, they have a certain amount of time, 4 years, let's say, for an example, 4 years to collect that debt from you. After 4 years, that debt is void, legally void. So they can still start to try to collect from you, but you got to look at the fine print of that letter. The bottom of that letter, they'll say in that letter, we know we passed the statute of limitations and legally cannot sue you for this debt. At that point, you can tell them whatever you want to tell them. But legally, they cannot collect that debt. So those are little things you need to know. But let's say you pay them $1. You owe them $1,000, it's past the statute of limitations, and you pay them $1. Guess what happens with that last date of activity? That last date of activity now resets. And now you're back into that window of that 4-year window again of the late last date. Now they can sue you again. Now that account becomes valuable again. That's why you have to be very careful when you see those deals come in the mail. Oh, this is not bad. $25, 3 payments of $25. And you can see this. It's not a complete payoff. So you need to be careful when you're doing this. Just a little tidbit out there for you guys. When you pay a collection account, make sure you want to go send them letters out. Make sure it's documented. Make sure it's saying, let's call it paid for deletion. You want to make sure that account is removed off your credit report. Not paid collection account, not paid charge off. You want it removed. And a lot of times you may have to pay 80% of that account to get it removed, but it's better than paying it and it resetting and your score being damaged. Especially if you're trying to do something and sit to the table for anytime soon, for a car or a home, refinancing, or apply for a credit card for Christmas like we just went through. So you need to be very, very careful on paying off accounts, especially when you don't know the law. So if you need to know more about the statute of limitations in the state you're in, shoot me a link down below in a comment. I'll respond and let you know what the statute of limitation is for your state. And you also got to be mindful when you pull your credit report, make sure you look at the date of last activity, when the last time you made a payment on that account, because that's the date it goes by. So, like I said, my name is Eddie. I'm CEO and founder of Easy Does It Credit Repair. Credit repair is definitely doable to do yourself, but it's something that takes patience, persistence, and some knowledge. So if you don't have the time to go out and get that knowledge, call us. We'll definitely help you and walk you through it. We'll definitely help you and get you where you need to be with your credit scores. I want to get anybody and everybody that I can in the 700 or 750 club so they can enjoy the finer things in life like I'm doing. So my credit is not an issue. My family's credit is not an issue. And I'm trying to, my friends, of course, credit is not an issue. So I'm trying to get you also, everybody out there as I can, because it's not taught. So once again, if you have any questions regarding credit or credit repair, or any questions regarding collection accounts, call, and I'll put a description below. Like and subscribe to this video, because I will be putting out more content about charge-offs, about judgments, about bankruptcies, about repossessions, late pays, the personal section of your credit report. I'm going to be giving it all out. I'm going to be giving all the information out that you need. So, once again, my name is Eddie. I'm your guy. Give me a call. Thanks. Bye.